Hi guys, Daz here with a long overdue comic book haul. This is Daz's Comic Book Hauls, episode 92, and it's been over 3 weeks since my last haul. I usually have a lot more books to show, but I'm super excited because I have managed to pick up my #1 Grail book for the year. Yeah, everybody has their top 10, so I didn't reveal my top 10, but this book was #1 on my list. And I think I got a very good price, especially for the grade. I'm over the moon. I've got just 8 books to show you guys, but there's some good ones here, some alerts, and some books that I'm just really into. Let's get into the books. Starting with a book that is getting a bit of heat at the moment because we've had some Sonyverse news, and that news is that there is a Jackpot movie coming by all accounts. And I made a hot comic book alert about that, and I showcased the books to be on the lookout for. The free comic book day book for the first Jackpot that came out in 2007, and then we moved on to the second Jackpot, and her first cameo appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man issue 546. Now, I have Amazing Spider-Man 546. In fact, I've sold a copy of late of 2. And the book's now shot up to around about £20, which is crazy because I found a couple for £1 a piece. So they are out there, guys. But to go with that book, I picked up a book from YC Comics. And this is a guy who's just subscribed to my channel. And I've been subscribed to his channel for some time. His name on YouTube is Butter TBM, another English YouTuber. There aren't many of us flying the flag. The book I picked up for about £2.75 was Amazing Spider-Man issue 549. 549, and this is the second appearance of the second Jackpot, who could well be in the Jackpot movie. We don't know whether it be the first or the second. Now, it's probably going to be the first, but who knows? And the second Jackpot is Alana Jobson. So thank you to Butter TBM for that book. Very solid grade. A VF copy, I would think. And there's been a lot of Batwoman CW news, of course. Just lately, we found out that Ruby Rose, who played Batwoman, has exited the show, which was a bit of a surprise. Was I the biggest fan of her? Not really. I didn't think she was the best actress, but there were some good scenes involving her. So we'll see where that goes for the next season. But talking of next season, I made a hot comic book alert about a villain. One of the main villains in season 2. The character has been teased in season 1. And the character comes in Batwoman Rebirth, issue #1. And this is the first appearance of Safiya Sohail, a notorious pirate and terrorist. And I think by all accounts a love interest of Batwoman. So yeah, this is a nice Steve Epting cover. And I paid £3.49 for that. I do like my cheap CW spec books. They don't really go anywhere, but I like to have live appearances in my PC. And then we picked up a couple of indie books, and one book in particular I made a hot comic book alert about, and it's very scarce over here. I've been following eBay sales, and very few, if any, of this book. And it comes from Dynamite Comics, and I picked this book up from Gator Doman. The book in question, Brothers in Arms, issue 1. Now this is the variant cover by Stefan Sejic. Now basically this is an adaptation of the video game franchise that spawned 11 games. Now there were only 7,810 copies of this book ordered. And in April of 2020, of course, it was optioned for a TV series with a showrunner attached. I paid £3 for this copy. I wouldn't have paid much more, but it has water damage. It's a bit crackly. I didn't really know about that, but for £3, I'm not going to moan because I do like optioned independent books in my collection for cheap. And talking of optioned independent books, if you've been following my channel, I sell a lot of books, and one book that I sold of late really irked me because it was a book I had on eBay for £2.99 for the longest time. I only paid 50p for it, and I really didn't think it would go anywhere. But it has gone somewhere because it's been going for 20, for 30, and it's been optioned. I had to get it back, and I paid £9.20 for the copy of Black Badge from Boom Studios. Of course, Netflix have set up a deal for Boom Studios properties, and this is about a top secret elite branch of Boy Scouts tasked by the government to take on covert missions. And this is another low printed book, guys. 9,686 copies were ordered by retailers, and in April again of 2020, creator Matt Kint responded to a tweet asking if Black Badge had been optioned by saying, "We're just waiting for an official announcement," and then it was removed from his Twitter account. So any day now we are expecting Black Badge to be greenlit. I haven't read it yet, still haven't read it, had it in my collection for the longest time. And so we move on to a couple of Star Wars books, and slowly but surely I'm picking up keys where I can find them for cheap. I'd lost a lot of faith in the Star Wars franchise after the pretty diabolical Last Jedi. Force Awakens, well, for me, they killed off Han, and that just broke my heart. I'd have given that maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Last Jedi was a 5, if that. Too many bad memories. But it was redeemed a little bit with Rise of Skywalker, which I gave about an 8. Then we've had the spin-off movies, and Rogue One was fantastic. For me, the best Star Wars film of the latest generation. I mean, my favourite, believe it or not, is Revenge of the Sith. Very underrated. The prequel's got a lot of knockers, but now they hold up pretty well. Yeah, I like the originals, of course I do. But I love the end scene with Obi-Wan battling Anakin. That was fantastic. But, I mean, the fans are now asking for an extended version of that. And one of the characters from those prequels is in this book. And this book was getting talked up on CBSI. It is Star Wars issue 19 from Dark Horse. It is Twilight, the story arc, 1 of 4. And this, believe it or not, is the first appearance of Aya Sakura, a female Jedi Knight, the blue one, if you remember her from the prequels. So I only paid £3.15 for this. Of course, she was in episodes 2 and 3 and the Clone Wars fantastic animated series. And then, talking of Star Wars, is another book I picked up from Krypton Comics recently. Yeah, it's a book that I think is very undervalued. Why? Because it's the first appearance, after all, of a major character in the Star Wars universe. But when I say major, I'm surprised this character has been greenlit his own Disney Plus show. And the book in question is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Yes, this is an adaptation of the Rogue One movie. But why pick this one up, Dazzie? Well, for £7.48, and that's, if you can get this for under £10, I think this is a good speculation book, because this is the first appearance of Cassian Andor, of course, and K2SO. And the Disney Plus show is going to feature them. I think it's called Cassian and K2SO. Simple as that. So this book I could see hitting double figures quite easily. Again, I think it's a strange character to get his own series, but yeah, it was pretty good in Rogue One. And like I said, I was a huge fan of Rogue One. That was a good 9.5 out of 10 for me. And Solo, that was pretty good too. That was probably an 8 out of 10. So the spin-offs are better than the last 3 films for me. And looking forward to, K2SO was great fun. Is it Peter Turdink who played it, did the voice? He's the baddie in Doom Patrol, isn't he? And so we move on to my last 2 books, and there's some Silver Age. One is my Grail book. Another is a What can I say? Well, it presents well. It is a book I've been on the lookout for the longest of times. It is always an expensive book. You're talking normally around about 50 to 80, in that kind of range, and that's for a VG. So one started bidding at, I think it was $4.99 or something along those lines, and it's got issues. It is detached at the top staple. There's a cut at the bottom of the book that runs through the book, but you know, for me, it's still in the 2.5 range, and I only paid £15.50 for this book. The book in question is Strange Adventures, issue 180, guys. I've stuck it in some Mylar, and as you can see, there's the cut that goes through the book, and it is detached at the top staple, but it presents okay for me. It's complete, and that's enough for me when you're paying £15.50. Like I say, why? The first appearance and origin of Buddy Baker, who later becomes Animal Man. Yeah, he showcases his powers in this, but he doesn't actually put the Animal Man costume on till Strange Adventures issue 190. But this is the money book. It's always a pricey book. So to add it to my collection, I don't think many people would leave it for 15 quid. First Animal Man. There's actually a store stamp here as well. Look at that. Look at this store stamp. And what year does it say? July 29th, 1963, I believe. So there we go. First Animal Man. And then we move on to the final book in this mini haul. Because like I say, I usually show 20 to 30 books, but when you're only buying on eBay, I'm trying to be far more selective going forwards. My aim for the year now is to try and get some books graded. The buzz you get from that first graded book that I took, you know, Tales of Suspense 52, I got a 5.0, blew me away. So I've got 3 more that have been sent away, and I'm looking forward to getting them back. So my focus now is to be slabbing my more valuable books. And I'm telling myself, if the right book comes along, I'm going to get one big boy book a month, and that'll pretty much do me. I'm in the position at the moment when you've got nearly 5,000 books, I'm pretty content with my collection. I'm selling off a lot of stuff. For a man cave, actually, the wife said I could have a man cave at the bottom of the garden. So I'm going to get a little base like Silver Age Dave. But it won't be in that quality of a league, but looking forward to doing it. So here's a book that has been my #1 want for the year. And this book is always very expensive. I went to the Stroud Room auctions, and a ratty copy I was going to pay up to 200 for. It ended up going for 300, I think, out of my price range. So I've been watching, and they're always coming on in the 300 to 400 range, and you're talking for a VG copy. It is a very successful series at the moment, a series that I can't wait to watch. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things from so many good friends. The book in question came on for £200 or best offer, and 200 I have never spent anywhere near that online. It scared me. So I think the most I've ever spent was on my Daredevil 4 online, and that was about 90 odd quid. You know, I've spent more in person, but when you're buying a book online for triple figures, it is scary, I think. And I offered 150, never expecting the offer to be accepted because the book looks very solid. And it was accepted, and I could not believe it. For £150, I got my Grail, and the book is My Greatest Adventure, issue 80. Go, Dazzie! The first appearance, of course, and origin of the Doom Patrol team. We got the first appearance of Chief, Elastigirl, Negative Man, we've got Robot Man, and the first appearance of General Immortus. I've read this book straight away. This is going to get graded, guys, for £150. Let's have a closer look. Let's have a look at that spine, which, by the way, is very solid. The corners are pretty solid. There's no crease. There is the slightest, and I mean the slightest bit of spine roll, but it is barely noticeable. So I would put this, I don't know what you guys think looking at it. It looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? I would think that's maybe a 4.0 for 150 quid. If I can get that slabbed, I should make a decent profit if I was ever to sell it, but this book's going nowhere. The Doom Patrol are my favourite team. So that's it, guys. That is my haul. And I'm wearing the DC shirt in honour of my latest acquisition. Here's my sponsors, Captain Marvel and Captain America this week. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. It means the world to me. So thanks. I'm at world record 838. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Bye for now.